sir.
Welcome to the Digital Dream Out the Gridiron podcast. It is a beautiful Sunday here in Northern California, nice and wet. I'm joined by my co-host for the most, Delvin Cox, Marcus Montalvo. How are we doing today, fellas?
Real good.
I'm not getting over him talking about it's nice and wet out there. What are you doing over there, bro?
It's just raining, bro. It's raining,
You
man.
might need to clarify that.
Oh man. All right, let's get right into it. Obviously, Cortez ain't here, so we're just going to start off with NFL, NFC championships and AFC championships. We basically had to recap, or no, we recapped, both those games and kind of talk about the Super Bowl. I'm obviously rocking the guy who, what the other number 15, when I was actually at the Super Bowl last year, Juwan Jennings, who was the MVP of that Super Bowl for the Niners. Unfortunately, they came out on losing end of it. I had a front row seat of that. Rest in peace to the Niners. But let's go ahead and talk about first off the Eagles over the Commanders. It was a blowout. Obviously, I mean, not much needs to be said. Obviously, Saquon Barkley, looks great. His first year outside of New York, going to the Super Bowl. What is your guys' take about the NFC Championship, and what really stood out to you?
I was surprised at the score.
Yeah,
I was shocked that it was that. I thought it would be a lot closer than that, but this is one of those games you just can't question the result. Like, yeah, I guess the team who wanted to go deserved to go there because they damn sure showed it.
exactly. Marcus?
Man, you know what? Anytime I hear anything about Barkley, it's always like, hey, he had another 60-yard run today. And then it's like, well, it's almost like, yeah, duh. Like you almost expect it at this point. I mean, yeah, like you said, the better team showed up. I expected this to be a lot closer to as well. And I didn't even tune into the game until the second quarter, and I was already like, dang, man, that's rough. It's getting bad here. So, and then it just extended farther than that, and then yeah, it got bad.
It got bad. It went from bad to worse for anyone who's a Commanders fan. I actually have a
Yeah.
Commanders jersey that I was wearing, which I'm not going to wear on this podcast because of that exact reason. Just how bad it was. Yeah, obviously what stuck out to me. Eagles are dynamic. Saquon adds another element. RPO game is amazing with Saquon, right? Obviously, Jalen Hurts is already a dual threat quarterback. Saquon adds that other element of, not only you have to worry about Jalen, you have to worry about Saquon, right? AJ Brown had 100 yards and a touchdown. That speaks for itself. Defense played great. They forced, I think it was 2 or 3 turnovers. So they definitely balled out. Zach Bond being an All Pro this year. Darius Slay doing what he does. So I mean, it was a great kind of game from all cylinders on both sides of the ball. So yeah, I mean that's what stood out to me at the championship. Can't say unfortunately that I was surprised because obviously the Eagles on paper were a better team. Commanders had a great run. And it was a great season for them. Jane Daniels is going to be here to stay, right? Obviously, I mean he's a mainstay, he's a future staple in the NFL. So I'm excited to see his career progress. And it was a great kind of coming out party for Jane Daniels this year.
I
So,
agree.
yeah. All right, moving on to the AFC Championship. Obviously, KC over the Bills. We all wanted the Bills. All right, let's talk about that, y'all. What took out for you? What is your takeaways from that game? Whoever wants to go first.
Man,
You want to go
ahead,
first,
brother.
Marcus? Oh, that's what type of game this is. Like, look. I'm gonna call a spade when it comes to this type of game. Like, the ref was on some shit,
Let's talk it. Talk.
but
Yeah.
you gotta look at it like this. That's the NFL in the whole. That's sports in general. You're gonna have bad calls. You're gonna have misplays. You're gonna have sometimes the ball doesn't go your way and the calls don't go your way. So there's no point in like arguing about it and getting mad because shit happens. Like it happened when Brady was doing his reign. It happened. It happens in basketball. It happens in every sport. You're gonna get these calls and these plays. You're like, that ain't right. And like
Seriously. Hey, you know what? It's something wrong when The Daily Show and Saturday Night Live are talking about your reffing. There's something to be said about that when it's that
I
blatantly
agree.
obvious where it's becoming a meme at that point. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, like you said, it's not unexpected. I mean, we expect it, but is it kind of take away from the game? Absolutely. Because
Yes,
instead of it being a game of absolute chance where it's just a better skilled and better prepared team shows up, it's more or less what's going to benefit the brand at a later time and what's going to show. And honestly, I could care less about any football team that goes and wins 3 in a row. I mean, even if the Bears did it, I'd be like, but I'm more interested in the content of the year. And I don't know, man. I just don't feel like this year is well deserved on the Chiefs end of it. I'm so sick of hearing about Taylor Swift, and if the FanDuel bets of if they're gonna get engaged after they win and all that. I don't care, dude. Like, there's nothing about this game that is exciting except for the Eagles. And the only reason why I say that is because I like watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I'm sure they'll make a show about it. So that's all I'm worried about.
But it's just one of those things. The Chiefs, whether people like it or not, are becoming America's team. Because, if you look at everything that goes with it, Taylor Swift and the audience that she brings in, the crowd that she brings in for this audience, you have this quarterback who's an amazing quarterback who's, after having the reign that Brady had, you have somebody who's kind of doing the same thing. and I think the NFL wants to see that. And, Kansas City's not necessarily a big market, but it's becoming a big market because of this. So it's like, I kind of get it. Not saying I want it, but I kind of get it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, you look at it from a marketing standpoint, it's perfect. I mean, it's in America's heartland. It couldn't be any more American with the most country hick black dude you've ever seen in your life. And then you've got the Taylor Swift country aspect to it, bringing in the a wider female audience. I mean, if you look at it, it's perfect marketing. It's almost better than how the Patriots were because it encompasses more of the general public. So it's interesting to see it play out, but it's kind of annoying. Like I said, you watch it, true sports fans watch it for the actual athleticism of the game. Everybody else is just there for the flashing lights and the music. So, you know.
Marcus, that brings me back to your point you made last week about the Super Bowl and the venues and where it should be played and actually being football cities as opposed to kind of, tourism and commercialism, right?
Yeah.
So kind of to the point of kind of, the fact that the Chiefs are, I mean, I'm not going to argue with either of you because I mean, it is what it is at this point, right? I mean, the Chiefs are getting the benefit of the calls. I saw it last year in the Super Bowl. I mean, what's the stat? The Chiefs in every single Super Bowl win have not had a single offensive hold against their offensive line. I mean, that's insane. And I had a front row seat to that last year in Vegas, right? So
Yeah.
people say, oh yeah, no, I mean, Ali, I mean, you they're gonna be like, you a salty ass Niners fan? I'm like, yeah, of course I am, but also because I saw this, I saw it permeate in front of my very own eyes, not once, but also on TV twice 5 years ago when the Niners made the first time against the Chiefs, which kicked off the legend of Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs dynasty, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, man, I mean, to Delvin's point too, right? I mean, America's team, right? Because Taylor Swift brings in an annual revenue of $335 million to the NFL. Like, I mean, in merchandise,
That's money.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a quarter billion, coming in every year. So at this point, it is what it is. At this point, it is what it is. I mean, the Chiefs are what they are, and the league definitely has vested interest in the Chiefs winning. There's actual money behind the Chiefs winning, and the Super Bowl being in warm weather cities, being in NOLA, not being in cold weather cities. I mean, it's all commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a business.
This is malarkey, is what it is.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. Number 2-4 right to the party. Better late than never. Fast should be late.
I'm sorry, I had to. I had to go take care of some things on the island of relevancy. You know what I'm saying? And, take my medication today, and I was finishing that up, so I'd be able to speak because it's been a rough week with this flu.
Oh man,
it's not been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. I mean, we were just talking about the Super Bowl preview, and we're talking about the NFC and AFC championships, recap. So Cortez, talk to me. I mean, what's your take?
Well, my first take is, I should be collecting $500 from each of you because I'm the only one on this panel that called the Super Bowl correctly beforehand. That's the
Do
first
we have to
one.
pull the receipts or?
Yeah, I want that written out in Braille, buddy.
and I gave you guys the reason why the Super Bowl was going to end up being Kansas and Philadelphia, and here we are, back on Digitally Dreaming Off the Gridiron podcast, talking about why the Super Bowl is turning into exactly what Cortez said it was going to be. It's almost like this dude has won championships or something.
So, are you insinuating that we haven't won championships before, sir? Because they're just different categories there, guy.
No,
I won the Mario Kart championship 5 times. How dare you, sir?
Exactly.
And I'm a
respect on that man's name.
Basketball champion 2 times, baby.
Oh, okay. Look, oh, he's busting out the rings. He's busting out the rings, folks.
Hey, I can't see that, so I don't believe it.
Seeing is believing.
I'm not even done. I got more. I can keep going. I can keep going.
Negro, did you rob Thanos? What's going
Hey man, I can go to the Jostens and print out a bunch of rings too, buddy.
Hey, Justin's ain't getting you one of these bad boys though. They're
Yeah,
not getting you one
yeah,
of
all
these
right.
bad boys.
All right.
Justin's is cool, but
Johnson's cool. Yeah, go
when
for
it comes to the NFL and why they do the things that they do, for example, we already pointed out that they haven't had a penalty called on them in that fashion in was it 7 weeks?
7 weeks, and just in every single Super Bowl, the offensive line,
Yeah,
every Super Bowl winner for the Chiefs, the offensive line has had zero holds called against
I
them.
believe the Travis Kelce taunting penalty that came after the fact. So the NFL fined the Chiefs for the taunting penalty that Travis Kelce committed after the Patrick Mahomes rushing touchdown. Here's the thing about this: you can issue a league fine and but not call the penalty during the game, because if you call that penalty during the game, then it changes the trajectory of where the game is going. That was a
Correct.
close. It wasn't a blowout. You know what I mean? Like neither one of the games that we watched were blowout games, and we already knew that the Eagles were going to end up winning, and we already knew that the Kansas City was going to end up winning, and it was easy because you had 5 Patrick Mahomes commercials in a row
Yeah.
during this game. And then after every play that anyone makes, they were cutting them back to Taylor Swift when the Chiefs were on defense.
Right. And I mean, but to that point, right? I mean, kind of that's why, I mean, it shouldn't surprise anyone, right? To your point, but also, I mean, like I said, Patrick Mahomes commercials, cutting to Taylor Swift, like and kind of the location of the Super Bowl, right? It's all business,
Well,
So
and
Yeah.
I said this last week when we got together that the big market game would be Philadelphia and Kansas City.
yeah,
That's correct.
The big market game is so for example, if you want to relate this to other sports, there's a reason why Oakland is moving to Las Vegas. The
we already
Athletics.
moved.
There's
Yeah,
there's a reason why. There's a reason why teams will go from Sacramento to Los Angeles. Because in reality, it's not really that far of a move, but it's far enough to where they can garner a certain amount of money from, a constituent base. You have teams that will go from St. Louis, which is not a bad town for sports,
yep,
to a bigger town for sports, as in, well, at the time, Arizona was kind of lucrative because they had all of the minor league teams that were there and all of the spring training teams that were there. But as they found out, that kind of dries up a bit when the regular season's going. But LA, for example, will host 3 teams of the exact same league. And everyone's like, oh, why is this happening? Well, it's the money involved. Same with New York. New York will have 2 teams, technically 3, because if you think about it, New York has 3 football teams.
but Kansas City, I mean,
Yeah.
to Delvin's point and to Marcus's point before you joined 2-4, it's not a big market, but it's in the heartland of America, right? It's in the
Well,
Midwest.
when's the last time you've been to Kansas City?
I've never been to Kansas City, so again, I mean, and I don't,
Let me
no plan
explain
for it.
something about Kansas City. So
Yes.
it might be in the heartland of America, but Kansas City is exactly the same as Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Very true.
So
Yep.
so there might not be quote unquote big market teams, but they're big volume teams. What I mean by that is there are people around the country who have nothing to do, never even been to Kansas City, Missouri. It's not even in Kansas, but never even been to Kansas City, Missouri, and have never played sports, and they will identify with these teams because these teams remind them of a part of Americana that they wish they had or that they identified with, whether it had been watching Little House on the Prairie growing up, or just or in some cases you have people who follow Andy Reid and loved Andy Reid and they were mad at the Eagles. And there's a lot of Kansas City Chiefs fans who are former Eagles fans, if you guys remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, they didn't want Andy Reid to get fired. They
Right.
didn't want that to happen at all. They wanted Andy Reid to stay there. Matter of fact, they cursed Eagles ownership up and down the street until they won a championship without Andy Reid, and everybody was just like, "Well, we still love Andy Reid. We wish he could have won it with Andy Reid."
Yeah.
So I mean, it's the NFL is the NFL. We understand what they're doing and why they're doing it. We just don't think that it's fair. We don't think that it's right, and the officiating is literally garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So WWE ass booking.
Well, while we're at it, I'm on a tear this year, so no one's taking Milo LaFalla from me.
Okay. And we're gonna get there, but now
No,
the last minute of this segment, I want to talk about predictions and what you guys expect the Super Bowl. So we'll go around table. We'll start from Marcus.
Oh man. Do we even have to? Come on, man. I'm going Eagles. You know what? And I know you're not a fan of either team because of where you stand and everything. But if I have to choose, I'm going Eagles. I can't stand Kansas City
Okay,
as
but
far as yeah.
let me stop you though. Are you picking that with your head or your heart?
His heart.
I'm doing it with my heart and my gut.
Exactly. That's
I'm doing it with my gut too, though, a little bit. No, but you
no,
know what? Honestly, I'm
you're
doing it with my
picking
gut
this with
because
your nutsack, okay? Because your brain would tell you not to make that.
honestly, yeah. No, but I mean, honestly, I think that the Eagles offense can really pull this through and really put it hurt. I think it's going to be a high scoring game, to be honest. So,
Pause.
yeah.
Pause. Did you just say that you think the Eagles offense is gonna? You talk about Jalen, 116 average Jalen Hurts. You talk about tush push God Jalen Hurts. That man has more 1 yard rushing touchdowns than Emmitt Smith did.
hey man, when you've got a running back that's constantly putting in 60-yard runs each game, I'm telling you, it's going to be a high scoring game. That's my
They're not
prediction for this.
they're not doing that against Kansas City.
I see, but
There's
see, Kansas City's opportunists. So as
it's
long as you
11
can
on
set it up that
16.
way, then I
It's
think you
11 on
could.
16. It's 11 on 16. You can't. It's not going to
All
happen.
right.
And I'll explain why. If you have referees that see things in a jaded way, and I played against
Yeah.
teams where the referees were literally against us because of something that our coach said or something that I said. It's been my fault a couple of times because I'm kind of an asshole on the football field. Outside the lines, I'm a
No,
nice
you.
guy. Yeah, on the
I wasn't
field,
gonna say a single thing.
look,
He
it
threatened to
is
punch me last week. I'm like, nope. No,
it is a
I can't.
it is a known fact that on the field I am not nice. But I'll tell you how this works. So you have five guys with eyes that are on the field. Now there's a line judge. The line judge is usually the one that throws the flag for holding on either side, right? Well, there's also two back judges on both sides. There's the head official, and then there's a sideline judge, right? Well, if you have a sideline judge and a back judge on the other side of the field throwing flags and they get together and have a little conference, and this happens 4 or 5 times during one drive to save a drive, the Chiefs are down 3rd and 19 on an impossible throw by Patrick Mahomes that nobody catches, and a flag comes out 2.5 minutes later in the commercial break, and we find out that the Chiefs are getting a first down granted to them. And I'm like, okay, well, how did that happen? Well,
Well,
it's
look,
because
I understand that there's politics on the field for this. That's not what I'm going with. I'm saying if you were to just play it as you should be playing it, where it's just team versus team as it should be played out, I'm still going with the Eagles no matter what. So it could be head, gut, nut, whatever you want to call it. It's all nuts and butts and everything else in between. It's good to go.
Whoa.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So
Hey,
right.
I honor your conviction and your right to play Madden, but in,
All righty. Thank
uh,
you, Marcus. Delvin.
I think the Chiefs got it.
Yep.
I
Final
think the
score?
Chiefs got it. Oh, I
come
think it's
on.
a 3-point game. I want to say 27-24.
All righty. Delvin. Cortez. 2-4.
I'm gonna go 34-36 Chiefs, and the Chiefs are gonna win on a field goal. I think we're gonna see the most football action in the first half from the Eagles. I think the Eagles will probably go up 21-3 in the first two quarters, 21-10 in the first three quarters, and then slowly over the third and into the fourth quarter, we're going to start to get that drama that the NFL needs. You're going to see Taylor Swift biting her fingernails, and then they're going to trot Harrison butt kissing ass out, and he's gonna boot that motherfucker, and it's gonna hit the upright, and it's gonna bounce in. That's my most direct prediction yet, but it's happened 5 times this season for the Chiefs, so I don't see why it wouldn't happen again.
I like it.
I like
Good
it.
prediction.
Well,
It's happened 5 times. Go look it up. I can't argue with facts.
And I'm going to tie it off and also going with the Chiefs. I'm going to go it's a rematch of the Super Bowl 2 years ago. I'm going with the same final score, 38-35. Like both my co-hosts, Delvin Cortez predicted, 3-point, 2-point margin, field goal win. High scoring game like Marcus predicted, but I just think the other team's
going to the Chiefs aren't better than that. They're not better than a one-score game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it's also going to come down to tic-tacky calls because we are going to see those tic-tacky calls, and the refs are going to give to the Chiefs. I mean, to Marcus, to your point, I'm not disagreeing with you. I think if the game's played how it's supposed to be played, the Eagles should win. Like last year, the Niners should have won last year too. But I mean, like you said, the Chiefs are opportunists. They take advantage of every opportunity, and they're now the new Patriots. If you make one mistake,
they tear you apart. Yeah, it's like boxing. You leave a glove down, that's the side of your face.
At the risk of having technical difficulties after saying this, hey Ali, do you think that New Orleans is gonna have any random power outages?
Yeah, that would be nice, man. 47 rematch, baby. I still remember the Super Bowl, the Ravens, that was 28-6, and the power lights go out, and the Niners come back storming, and they almost win that game.
Yeah.
That was great. But almost great. Almost.
Harbaugh? Hey, Harbaugh won.
Harbaugh almost won, bro. Harbaugh won. The other Harbaugh did not win.
Harbaugh won.
Harbaugh.
Yeah.
The wrong son died.
All righty, you got our predictions: 3 Chiefs, 1 Eagles. So we will see that. Now let's get into a WWE Royal Rumble happened last night. A banger of pay-per-view. Let's get right into it, fellas. Jey Uso wins the Royal Rumble, last limiting John Cena, making his first match, return debut in, I think, over a year. So let's talk about that, y'all. We have 14 minutes left. What stood out to you from the Royal Rumble? Whoever wants to go first.
I would say this. I'm shocked at the mixed response to this.
Mm-hmm.
I am very shocked that people are like turning on Jey Uso, and I thought it was an amazing, beautiful moment. I think it was one of the things that kind of personifies who John Cena is.
Right.
Because John Cena's always been the guy, even though he got flack for it early in his career, where when it comes down to it, he wants to make someone else have their big moment. Whether it was The Miz, whether it was Daniel Bryan. It's been so many times he's done that, even to the point where in the latter half of his career, he's like, you know what? I'll just go after the U.S. Championship. And he made that belt matter, So to see him do that for Jey Uso, I thought was amazing. I thought it was great. I didn't expect it to happen. And in the past few years, in the Vince McMahon era, where we kept talking about how predictable things were, it's cool to see something come totally out of left field, where you have a Royal Rumble that's not Roman Reigns winning, not CM Punk winning, not Seth Rollins winning, not Sami Zayn winning, but out of all people, Jey Uso. I thought it was great. I loved it.
Can't see me. Alrighty. No, but let's talk, though. Cortez.
John Cena actually held both of these U.S. championships.
He did?
Correct.
Yes. And he held this belt, and he held that belt on your shoulder, too. So,
yes,
the GOAT.
So here's... we did. He held the scratch version of this one.
Yep.
And then The Rock took it back. But
correct.
So here's the thing that really got to me about the backlash on, no pun intended. Yep. Here's what got to me about the backlash of the Royal Rumble. WWE is part of a multi-billion-dollar entertainment corporation right now. And what that means is that they have to be able to sell tickets to every event until the end of this farewell tour.
Right.
Now, if Cena wins the Royal Rumble, then Cena goes away until Mania, right?
Correct.
Yeah, just
If
sporadic
Cena
appearances here and there.
if Cena doesn't win the Royal Rumble, you get to sell tickets to every pay-per-view event that you have until WrestleMania. So I am a, media aficionado. I'm sure you guys already know that by now, but I watched the WrestleMania, not the WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble after show, and I watched Cena's interview.
I did
And
too.
if I could rebroadcast it for our adoring fans, I would, but I cannot because my daughter got me copyright striked, so I definitely don't want to do that. But yeah, it was weird too. I'll tell you about that off air. But anyway, Cena made a statement, and Cena's statement was very simple. He said, I'm not answering any questions tonight. No, I didn't win the Royal Rumble. I wanted to win the Royal Rumble. The better man won. He goes, but as everyone knows me, I'm going to do what's best for business. And what's best for business is for me to go in the Elimination Chamber and win and main event WrestleMania and carry the title for the 17th time because I'm going to carry it for the 17th time for the person that wins it 18 times. He said, and that's all there is to it. I'll see you guys at the Elimination Chamber in Toronto. I'm about to go shoot a movie.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me was way better than Cena winning the Rumble because Cena already won the Rumble. That was way better than Cena winning the Rumble because now we have questions that need answers. If Cena wins the Rumble, we don't have any more questions. If Cena wins the Rumble, we know who's main eventing at least one night. If Cena wins the Rumble, then there's no chase. And if anybody remembers John Cena's stories, there has not been a John Cena story that's been good that didn't involve John Cena having the odds against him and having a chase.
Correct.
Right.
He said he's tired of gimmick matches. He's tired of being a spot monkey. He's tired of being the guy that comes in and smiles for the cameras. He said, I want a legitimate run, and this is how you get one. So for the people that are mad that CM Punk didn't win, hey, Chicago in here, I didn't like it either. But hey, also a big fan of Jey Uso. I liked that because there's only two people on that roster that would have benefited from winning the Royal Rumble, and that's Chad Gable or Jey Uso. And
Yeah.
everyone else that was in that Rumble was not positioned to win it. And CM Punk's already going to be in the main event. They wouldn't be talking about it this much if he wasn't going to be. Roman Reigns doesn't need to be in the main event, but he can be. He's a spirit. We already understand that. Roman Reigns is already posting on the social media talking about Jey Uso and everything like that. And as you can see, the family's kind of behind Jey. Everyone is on that side of the family. The
Yes.
cousins still got to be worked out a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's for the drama down the line. That's going to add to what we're getting. There's still what 4 PLEs before WrestleMania. So
Cortez, let me ask you a question. Did you see the video of him going backstage?
who?
Jey Uso, after he won?
No, I cut it off at him in the ring with his son, and then him backstage during his interview.
I highly recommend people seek this video out. It's a video of him going backstage. Jimmy's backstage. He meets up with him. He gives him a hug, tell him he loves him, congratulations, he's very proud of him and stuff like that. Then Jacob comes up to him and gives him a hug, says, I'm proud of you, Us. They put the shirt on him, says Jey Uso, Royal Rumble winner, and stuff like that. And when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? I can see Jey Uso winning the title, going a few months as the champion, and losing to Jacob Fatu.
I said this months ago that Jey Uso is going to win the title. It's not going to be the logo title. It's going to be the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
That's what he's going to win. And on top of that, it's going to be an inter-family feud.
Right.
Whether it's not going to be Jimmy and it's not going to be Roman. It's going to be another faction warfare. It's probably going to end up being Solo. And I'll tell you what tipped me off to it. His father.
Yeah. He's been talking
Rikishi's
about that.
post last night let everyone know that there's other Fatus coming. And I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but last week, Zilla Fatu had a beat out basically, and he lost his title. to Booker T.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, go watch the match. It was actually really good, but he had a beat down where there was like five guys beating on Zilla, and Booker T beating him coming out last. It was like a gauntlet match, and Booker T beat him, took the title back, and basically he was like, "There is no more ones here. The Island of Relevancy is not in this promotion." He goes, "This is the last time y'all gonna see Zilla Fatu here." So don't be surprised if Hikuleo, Zilla, Tongaloa, and who am I forgetting?
Tamatanga.
Well, Tomatonga's still there. I'm talking about these
Yeah.
guys making returns and making
Oh, making
debuts.
returns.
Yeah,
Um,
Solo. This could work out for Solo in the way that he goes to get more backup, and he could fire Tamatonga and Tongaloa and keep Jacob, or like let's just say this much: Paul Heyman is the mastermind behind anything Bloodline, and he's gonna do us some justice. But there's other people coming up right now, and Rikishi can never keep his fat lips shut. I did it for The Rock, so
Speaking of which, shout out to Rikishi with Godfather, Kurt Angle. I think I saw two of three of them.
yeah.
Made cameos yesterday. RVD. Gotta love that.
hey,
Nostalgia.
love all of those guys, and I don't know if you guys like we talked about this a couple years ago, but like Godfather, Rikishi, especially RVD, like when you meet those guys and you start talking to them, like they like for you to be in character too. And they feel like, especially if they've been off for years, they like to see that you are that much of a fan of their work. The only person, I'm not gonna go there. I'll talk to you about this afterwards.
No, 100%. When I met Godfather, he was dressed as Papa Shango, and he had Godfather too. Then he basically,
Yeah,
he liked the fact that I had the IC belt. It's actually a picture right there. I don't know if anyone can see. It's a little blurry, but it's right there. Yeah, so because I bought the IC belt for him, Rikishi signed, and he's like, "This is the belt I won." I'm like, "Yep, it's the belt you won." And then he signed it, and then we got the picture. So rest is history. But I'm
That's
excited.
dope.
Was that?
No, I said that's dope.
It's dope. Yeah, yeah.
That is
So
dope.
I think to close it off, let's just kind of briefly preview. I think WrestleMania and kind of what we expect to happen. I mean, there's obviously 2 months away before WrestleMania even happens. I'm personally going to start off. I'm going to predict Jey Uso goes over on Gunther and he wins the world title to get his payoff. And I predict Cena is going to win the Elimination Chamber and he's going to beat Cody, who may or may not turn heel based on how the Kevin Owens thing kind of shaped out last night. Standing over bleeding Kevin Owens. I could see a potential shift for heel, but it might just be face for face like they had with Rock and Cena the first time. And then Cena gets his number 17 to go over on Flair, and he rides off to the sunset. With his
does is there a world that we live in where Cody vacates this title?
probably not.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
What if he's legitimately injured? Like,
He's going to compete, bro. I mean, you saw him compete
like
against Seth with his pec injury. I mean, he tore his pec with the bench press, and then like he still competed at that event before he had to go back
'cause
on the shelf for 9 months.
here's the thing though, and I'm waiting for Chris Van Fleet. I'm waiting to see if the medical reports come out about him and Kevin, because the reports are saying they're both legitimately injured,
Mhm.
and I can totally believe it because they took a beating last night.
We'll see.
Well,
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Kevin was busted up. Cody's busted up. But come on, let's just go around and give me the main events of what you guys think they have for Mania. Delvin.
Well, now Cortez done put a wrench in my plan. So let Marcus go first. I'm thinking of something else now.
I got nothing because I'm still my wrestling IQ is pretty infantile, so I'm still catching up. I've been out of the game for like
All right,
15
Delvin,
years.
you're on the
I'm
Delvin,
back
you're
on
on
the clock
deck.
then. See, if I'll put it like this: if Cody is actually injured and he has to vacate the title, which I think if it's that bad of an injury, he has to vacate the title.
I don't think so.
I think Elimination Chamber will be for the title.
Okay.
And if that happens, I think Cena wins Elimination Chamber and wins the 17th title. And plans change, pal. He will face CM Punk.
And CM Punk goes over on Cena at WrestleMania.
Correct.
All right.
That's actually the story that I want.
I mean, that's what I want too. I mean, that'd be great.
Oh,
I mean,
so
that's what I was thinking. So
Yeah.
here's a monkey wrench in there. Here's food for thought.
1 minute.
Paul Heyman owes CM Punk a favor. CM Punk fights John Cena. CM Punk's a tweener in the first place. Roman Reigns helps Cena. I mean, helps CM Punk beat John Cena
Yeah.
at WrestleMania and takes that title from him.
Okay. Let's see. Cortez, anything else to add? 1 minute.
No, me and you agree on just about everything. Yeah.
All right, y'all, that's it for today. So y'all got our Super Bowl picks. 3 of us going Chiefs, 1 going Eagles. We got WrestleManias on deck. Jay Uso, yeet, is about to go. And basically, we've got the Ula Father. Man, we rocking it. Yes, sir. Put the finger up, baby. Okay, let's go. All right, y'all already know. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us here at DDOG Podcast on Twitter, on IG, Spotify. Y'all already know what time it is. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless. We'll see you all after the Super Bowl. Let's go, Chiefs.
Ollie, open